somebody that doesn't have all the answers, and I'm not ashamed to say that, and I would definitely reach out to the people that are doing the work right now and see what their answers are, and have an open ear for it in a real way. That's what I mean.
I agree with Vim. One of the prevailing themes I hear from the African American community, the Native American community, the Hispanic community, Latino community, is that it's not enough just to have an office of equity. It's not enough to say, okay, check the box, put it over there, we've done our bit. The reality is where the decisions get made is where we need communities of color to be sitting. And I have long felt, as your state treasurer and as your Multnomah County chair, where the most important decisions get made are where financial resources get allocated. Yeah. And so when it comes to the PDC, I did ask the mayor to withhold the appointment of a new PDC director. I want to make sure that if a community is impacted by further urban development, they also benefit in the upside of that through job training, through employment opportunities, through subcontracting and general contracting opportunities. And right now, we are not doing enough in this community to ensure that the dollars go to the communities that are most impacted.
Well, that's the whole reason I'm running, because I don't believe that we have adequate representation in City Hall. We have to have the people that in City Hall that have the same priorities as the people that live in the communities. I took over this community center in Northeast Portland off of Burgess Street. We saw a problem. There's homeless people out there that didn't have enough food. We brought the communities together and we give them food. I hand out food to them at least 3 times a week. I did it 2 nights ago. What I would do is I'd take our district liaisons and make sure they have a stronger role and talk to our neighborhood associations out there and see what they say. Because right now, the people with the money are making the decisions, and that's not how it should be. It should be us making the decisions. And then they listen to what we have to say.
30 seconds for an issue that has plagued Portland for so long. As Multnomah County Commissioner, I've worked closely with Loretta Smith to double our investment in communities of color and culturally specific organizations. I've worked with her to invest in an entrepreneurship fund for entrepreneurs of color and to promote internships and workforce access for people of color. As mayor, I pledge first and foremost that I will surround myself with a staff that is reflective of the diversity of this community. Second, I will empower the Office of Equity and strengthen it so we can actually make meaningful decisions in our city. And third, I will make sure that we are investing in cultural organizations that can work with the comp plan to get things done.
Each community is unique. Each community will need specific funds to deal with their unique situations. And what I have said on boards and invited commissioners out and communities of colors have said, come out and let us share what issues is going on. And when the commissioners do not come out to those communities, when they are either send someone who's inadequate to provide answers, what statement are we making to that community? Yeah. And as far as we discuss in each community, real quick. Oh, okay.
So yes, we should take...
Yes, and just really quick, I've done some analysis on the livability of Portland, and a group and myself did this analysis on one that showed Portland the livability. This was the 2005 livability. But what we recognized and what we found was that the data sent out, based on the data received, was not from the communities that had issues, not from the communities that could not afford things. We were not getting responses. So we can't really go by data analysis to say these are the issues here, because we have to find a way to reach those communities.
So I was just going to say briefly that when we're making decisions about specific neighborhoods, I think it would be a good practice if we could actually make those decisions and have those decision-making processes physically in the neighborhood that we're making decisions about. That would be a good start. And beyond that, I think when we're doing hiring at the city level, we need to not only ensure that we're promoting diversity at the back end, like when we're actually deciding from our pool, but we need to make sure that our pool of applicants that we bring in, that we look at, is actually reflective of the diversity of our community. We need to make sure that we look at the entire process, because if we we only focus on the hiring step, we're gonna miss out on actually bringing people into the process.
Ready? I'm ready. So of course I'm the only candidate that's going to come up and say, first of all, this is stolen land. This is stolen land. So what we're doing right now is we're living in a government and an insulated elitism government that is protected over generations and generations of descendants of lands. Really, people are telling me to come on when I'm talking about stolen.
Hey, love.
Okay, so check this out. What we need to do is we need to shift the structural balance from 5 white people that run city council to many more people of color, but at that same time, we need to always keep conscious of the humbleness that we should be for being the descendants of settlers and land barons and grubbers. And if you fucking boo me, oops, I don't care. I don't care if I said the F word, I don't care if you boo me. This is stolen land. Boo it up, Trump people. Boo it up, Trump people. Boo, boo, boo. Stolen land.
All right, thanks, Jesse.
Don't thank me. I didn't do nothing.
Are we done? Have we lost? Has everybody got their
Yeah,
chance
we're
to answer?
done.
All right. With your becoming mayor offers the ability to hold a lot of weight and a lot of influence in the community. And how will you use your leadership to ensure that TriMet keeps public transportation really affordable for people of Portland? Sarah.
I've been told that mayors haven't really been attending MPAC or JPAC much lately, so I think I might start getting involved in regional things again. I also think that developing a notion of scaled problem solving. Who needs to be at the table to do what? At the neighborhood scale, we need to do things at the neighborhood level. Regional initiatives, we need to pull together good teams. And I think it's about the mayor of Portland not thinking that they can solve every problem or work on every issue, but where is the reality behind the issues that needs to be worked on. With TriMet, there are things that we could be doing. East Portland's a perfect example. We've got bus rapid transit going on out there. Communities are worried about gentrification. TriMet's trying to put in a very, very essential community development tool. And the mayor and the city council need to be helping this community to make sure that they're not gentrifying with this transit project. That is where I think the mayor of Portland can bring her weight to the problem.
You know, I don't have a really amazing answer for this. I think it is just that same idea of leadership through the strength to listen. I think that if we listen to Portlanders and what they need, and if that turns out is what they need is public transit that's affordable, then we get it done. I mean, essentially, that's a contract that's negotiated, and you negotiated for Portland, and that's all there is to it. I mean, I don't really understand if there's more depth to that, and if I'm wrong about that, let me know, and I'll figure it out. But I don't have a silver bullet there. But he does. I think it's just about somebody who can stand up for Portlanders.
So I did spend 4 years on JPAC, the Joint Policy Advisory Commission on Transportation. Let me tell you, it's the inner circle of hell. There are enough plans in the city of Portland to paper the way to the moon and back 58 times over. It's not about plans, it's about leadership. When we have the streetcar in downtown Portland getting as much resource as it would take to put transit throughout East Portland, and yet we neglect the part of our city that actually has been most in need of public transit for years, people of lower income who need to commute to get employment to support their families. Our priorities are not straight. So I would say it starts with leadership and understanding what needs to be done. One final footnote in my final 5 seconds. I was a co-author of the East Portland Action Plan along with Jeff Merkley and then Mayor Tom Potter. And too much of that plan, particularly the part around transportation, has been sitting on the shelf for too long. If I'm elected, it comes off the shelf and we're going to act.
If I'm elected, I'll look at that. I don't know, I mean, no one's gonna sit up here and say, hey, you know what, let's hike the bus fares up, you know? I mean, there's just one answer you can give up here. Maybe I can reserve some time for my closing remark or something, I don't know. But it is, it's through perspective, and that's why it's so important, why we have somebody in City Hall that shares the priorities that we have as people who live here.
Well, I like serving on JPAC, so I'm not sure what that says about me, but whether you're talking about public education or economic development or our tax structure or TriMet, the mayor has a bully pulpit that is really second only to the governor and our congressional delegation and has to use that convening ability. The problem that we have at TriMet is we have a broken funding system. We have a provision within our Constitution that prevents us using taxes or fees in the transportation system from funding public transit. And so we have a model that's based on payroll taxes and user fees, and it drives up the cost. We have to have leadership to change that.
You know, as much confidence as I have in myself that I can fix all issues, as mayor, I would surround myself with you and you and you and you, those of you who have those tools and who have those skills and knowledge to implement things and make things happen instead of sitting in my office there and scratching the backs of those who do special things, favors for me. So I would use each of you and your skills so that we can move forward and address those issues with TriMet. And also I would be that leader there and review those things that we're putting in place.
So obviously, public transit is a really important part of what makes Portland so special. We've made an investment in public transit that is unlike pretty much any other city in this country. It's a very important part of what makes this community